Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show, episode 60. I'm Tony Turntable. That's my new nickname I'm going by. And this is, the House of Turntables. A lot of turntables around here. But what I'm here to talk about tonight is a lot of good music. Got some on the live, what's the word I'm looking for? Feel? On the beat. Got some really good stuff planned for tonight. That I am always really, really excited to share with you. How's everybody doing out there? Well, good. That's how we're doing, and we're here to rock. So let's get started. What have we been listening to lately? Little bit of this, a little bit of that, a lot of new stuff that has been coming around a lot lately. Heard this new song recently by Steven Sanchez is his name. Really, really, really good. The song was called High. Haven't checked out more than that, but that was definitely something that I thought was very, very good. This Rat Boys, if you haven't checked them out, really, really good. Morning Zoo is a good tune that I think you definitely should check into. Always new stuff. So again, if you don't ever hear something on here that you think you might like or you might not like or you haven't heard yet, please share it with us, and we would love to talk about it, because we're always looking for anything new and anything, So Steven Sanchez High is really, really good, as I was saying. Older stuff though, the Tigers of Pantang. You ever hear of this band? Really, really good, heavy band. That I've been digging into a little bit lately. Digging into different things and learning about new experiences in music is what we are all here to do at the Hookup on Music. And tonight is definitely no exception. With all the new tunes that are coming out, as the days roll on, this is the time of the year where it seems new music is just popping up. New artists are dropping. This band Ducks Limited, I don't know if you've checked them out. They're a new band, Dead, DEHD. Definitely another band worth checking out, worth your time. You could really go in depth on a lot of these newer bands. There's a band that I just heard just within the last day or two. They're called Friko, Friko. Worth your time. We're checking out. All these bands that I'm mentioning here are really should be like, think of some of your favorite bands and the first times you heard them. This seems to be in that same kind of regard. The first time you're digging into different things, and listening. And look, we got some we got our main man here. Okay. Really cool here. Thanks for joining, Yumper. But back to what I was saying is that just new music is always on the horizon. I hear here Downtown Fiction, definitely something I need to check out because I have not heard them yet. And anytime anybody, as I was stating, has something to tune into or share, I don't mind sharing it. But going forward a little bit here, a lot of concerts are on the horizon. Okay, a lot of shows are popping up, and as always, we are always going to be the main forefront, especially coming up here with this season of new shows that will be popping up around the area of Chicago. Coming up March 30th, Damian and Stephen Marley. If you are not familiar with them, definitely check them out. I saw Damian Marley a couple weeks ago when we had on Chirizi. We talked about the Lollapalooza 97, and Damien was on that bill, I believe, and he kind of got the day started. But if you're interested in tuning into some of Marley's sons, go out to the Byline Aragon Ballroom March 30th. They're playing there. Matthew Sweet, really awesome Matthew Sweet. If you have not listened to any Matthew Sweet, you can go get back and get started on Altered Beast. He's got some really good tunes like Time Capsule on there. But he's coming to town. I was very, very surprised just a couple weeks ago when I heard that he's playing the Metro April 5th, a Friday, not during the week. Sometimes it's tough to get out during the week and see a show, but a Friday night Matthew Sweet show, that's pretty sweet. Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, the Satch Vai US tour, Chicago Theater, April 18th. When I got started listening to music, I definitely, what's the word I'm looking for? Remember these guys, and their CDs were around the music stores like Sam Goody and Coconuts. And if you're not familiar with any of those places, they were old music stores that used to exist. Right here in the comments, I see a road trip. There's a lot of awesome concerts if you're willing to take a couple-hour drive just down to Indy, which personally myself, I love to do. I've done it pretty much every year. I've got a friend or two down there, and the venues down there are beautiful, just as nice as the ones here in Chicago. Definitely another experience to kind of get out and see. Um, but also, really quick, is the Black Crowes are April 19th, and their new album just dropped, Happiness Bastards. Really, really good stuff. If you have not gotten into that new Black Crowes album, I definitely think it's something that you should take a couple couple minutes if you do get a chance and check it out if you are a fan of the band, because it's definitely the band back to, I would think, of kind of a classic form. It's 10 songs, 37 minutes, produced by Jay Joyce. If you're not familiar with him, he works a lot down in Nashville, which well is exactly what the band wanted to do on this new album, is work down in Nashville, and they did. And honestly, sounds just like the Black Crowes. So if you're a fan, check out their new album, Happiness Bastards. Definitely worth your time. Also dropping this week, if you have not checked it out yet, the Lollapalooza lineup has dropped, and I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? There are some artists here that look very, very, very interesting to me, and then there are some artists that do not look very interesting to me. And before anybody screams out, you know, you're, you don't listen to a lot of these artists. No, I try to listen to everybody. And if you definitely have a guitar or instruments, I'm definitely going to be listening to you, no matter if you're, however old, getting started, to however old you're not playing anymore. But honestly, the lineup quite isn't what I would think is something that I'm going to race out and I think gonna see. It is pretty cool though at the top of the non-headliner list. Pretty cool to see somebody like the Deftones right up there at the top. Um, I'm not familiar because I did not do the research beforehand, but I don't know off the top of my head. Don't know if they played Lollapalooza too much. So the Deftones at Lollapalooza, that's pretty cool. You kind of go through here, you see some different artists. The Killers. Somebody reached out to me and said, "Didn't the Killers just play?" And they always seem to play Lollapalooza quite a bit. Blink 182. I don't know if I want to stand outside all day and to wait for Blink 182, but some might. And that's why we support anybody who will be going to this show. I'm a fan of Hosier. He does have some really awesome music. But again, all that being said, Lollapalooza's lineup was dropped. And I'm sure as it goes along, we're going to talk about it and hear a little bit more about it as we happen to, dig into it. What we're going to do here to start, folks, is that we're going to start talking about a concert that just happened recently. We're on the scene here. Had somebody out taking amazing video. His name is the Scouse Viking, a very close friend of the Hookup on Music show, and he shared with us this concert, a couple concerts he went to that we're going to kind of go through, because I kind of live vicariously through some of this. So it's awesome he's willing to share. And soon we're going to be doing a blog where he gives me an album, I give him an album, and we're going to kind of go through that. But in the meantime, just this past Thursday, almost a week ago, Ministry, Gary Newman and Frontline Assembly came to town, and it was a very, 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 very awesome show. The reason I know this is not only by the videos, but I did see Ministry over the summer, where if you go back and listen to, I talked about their amazingness. But from the perspective of somebody who was not at the show, immediately I'm told that the show is super, super awesome from the Ministry perspective. Okay. Before Ministry is one Gary Newman. I don't know if you're familiar with Gary Newman, but he is a musician who kind of, for me, seems to be one of the forefront starters of the new wave movement. Lots of keyboards, really awesome. On album, supposedly though, I was told that this concert, it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't it went out a little too long, is pretty much what I was told. So, let's take a listen to Gary Newman, one clip here. If you are not familiar with that song right there, that is Cars by Gary Newman. That is the song that if you ever turn on the radio, it is always, always on. And that is a song that I never have any problem, playing out loud. But he plays that track 8, he plays 12 songs. Okay. So for not somebody who does not familiar and only familiar with Cars, 12 songs is kind of it's a big set list. But again, it's Gary Newman. Okay, Gary Newman's been making albums since 1977. That's when he started. So, you got to give Gary Newman his credit and say, okay, we'll give Gary Newman, who he is, because this is Gary Newman. I get very, very big, what's the word I'm looking for? 9 Inch Nails type vibes when I listen to that. And definitely just a really, from my perspective, the visuals look really, really awesome. But again, I heard it from the Scouts Viking, went on a little too long. And everybody, again, is there in attendance to see, the one and the only Ministry, which again, I had the tickets. I was on my way out the door, and unfortunately, something in life popped up, and I was not able to go. And was very, very disappointed. Really, is the thing. But it's Ministry. I mean, you could see right there with just right there the visuals with the lights. Ministry is always, always, always at the forefront of industrial and the forefront of just heavy music for me. In my heavy music days, we've talked about them plenty, but hearing just what kind of set list did they put together for this concert at at the Aragon Ballroom. It starts out with 5 tracks off the brand new album. Okay, and then there's 2 tracks from an album entitled Moral Hygiene, which my personal self not familiar with. And then what they do is go into what I would deem is 7 of their greatest hits. Okay, which of course everybody is very familiar with NWO, Just One Fix, Stigmata, Thieves. What's really cool this tour is they brought back Jesus Built My Hot Rod. That's awesome. Always cool when a song pops back up in the set list that people like. And Ministry is talking about this being one of their last tours. So why not dig this great tune out and have it be played? And that's exactly what they did. But again, very awesome visuals from the band, which is from exactly the perspective of you seeing these guys is what you want. Al's always right there, and he's always again sounding awesome. And I bet in that intimate setting where I saw them over the summer, it was kind of an outdoor arena. This arena was a little bit more inside and a little bit more in depth, and I bet it was loud, and it was, from what I was told, it was really loud. So that being said, that was the Ministry Gary Newman concert. So if you happen to be out at the concert, and that was the first thing I really wanted to go to this concert for, was this poster. When when advertising comes along with concerts, what's the first thing you're looking at is what could bring me in to go see this. And of course, when I saw Gary Newman, immediately Cars, Ministry, but then just the whole poster, which is kind of like a play off of some. The middle is the new cover of the Ministry's new album, but then just kind of like the purple and the different colors, really, really, really cool. And just by a couple of those videos that we were looking at right there, just kind of you could see a little bit what was going on, with that. Really quick here, another concert, the Decibel Magazine Tour 2024. Okay. This was another one that was just dropped on my lap by my buddy. He says, I'm going to this. I'm going to let you know how it was. Okay. The bands in this were called Halder, Devil Master, Worm, and Necrofire. Now, by the time he told me about this to the time now, I'm trying to take in all of these bands because, again, never heard of these guys. And that's what the point of the show is I'm willing to listen to anything because, well, I like so much. And again, a lot of coolness here that I would not have personally known about if it wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? If it wasn't just dropped on my doorstep. Okay, so that was the first band up there. That was Devil Master, which right there in that title, Devil Master, you're saying to yourself, it's gonna be a pretty scary event. And right there by the videos that was sent to me, not only is it that, but it's heavy, and it's really heavy. The concert itself was at Reggie's, which was in Chicago, Illinois, and a lot of people out there have been to Reggie's, and maybe it was even at this concert. But again, it was the Decibel Magazine music tour here, and I honestly, from just this poster too, really cool artwork. I love all of these bands who were ever in charge to say, you know what, I'm going to come up with your logo. Because a couple of these, I was like, oh, Necrofire? That's what that says? That's what's awesome about certain bands, is that it doesn't give it away right away. You have to look a little bit deeper. You have to look a little bit further. And that's exactly what we're also trying to always do here down at the HOOKUP. But let's keep moving along here. So those were some concerts that we're seeing. Again, keep the lookout for some blogs that will be coming out. Could be really cool. Let's move forward. Okay. Right now I want to dig into a song really quick here before we go on to more and more stuff before we run out of time. And what I want to talk about really quick here is we're going to get a little bit tonight. This is things that pop up into my head, and just really honestly the things that kind of what comes across my mind. And for some unknown reason, just recently, November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Now, again, it's been a long time, if you hate the song, whatever you are, partial to it, for some reason lately, when I've turned on the radio, the song is on quite a bit. When the song first came out long ago, was not the biggest fan, but it seems to be, as I've gotten older and I've become more mature, it seems to be something that sticks with me. And what really sticks with me the most of the song is, honestly, Axl does a really good job on the vocals for this. And I can't always say that about Axl. The song came out in February 92. It clocks in at 8 minutes and 57 seconds. Axl Rose claims that he wrote the song way before the band even took off. It's kind of crazy to think about when you hear of some of those early songs, if this one was just sitting around in the canon. But for me, really, what always gets me is the guitar solo. What you can see in the video right there. Slash. Okay. again, Slash lately, recently, I don't know, even since the Use Your Illusions, I don't know. I don't know. Has he gotten better since the Use Your Illusions? Has his music been as good? I just don't know. And as stated down here, definitely Axel's a huge Elton John fan. And if you have not gotten an opportunity, it's really cool. Axel does a great job at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert back from 1992. Um, Axel's just a really good pianist, and mixed with his songwriting skills, just really, really, I think brought a great track on Use Your Illusion. And honestly, I could do 10 episodes in a row on both Use Your Illusions because I remember being exactly there when they came out. Honestly, I bought Use Your Illusion 2 first. You Could Be Mine, which was amazing off the Terminator 2 soundtrack. That was the first song that kind of stuck with me. But again, November Rain is definitely is one that lately has just been creeping up. Sometimes I don't know when sometimes when the day is long or you seem to be going through a lot. I don't know. That's kind of what the song seems to bring to the table, and always kind of sticks with me. That being said, another thing that really has been sticking with me lately and has just come across my brain, and I wanted to share it tonight. And it's first of all, it's the Metallica Black Album, which of course, again, like I said, we're going to get a little commercial here tonight. Um, it's a very polarizing piece of work, and you wouldn't really, honestly, that's what I'm here just a little bit to talk about. I don't really know sometimes why it's so polarizing. I guess I get it. It's because the albums before it were a whole lot, quote unquote, as some people say, heavier. Um, Perspective is completely different. Because heavy comes in so many packages and so many different varieties. As one of the tuners in tonight, I'll pull up some Red Hot Chili Pepper songs that I would say are pretty heavy. Um, but again, people steam heavy in different ways. Is it how much they're screaming, how fast? I don't know. Um, but this album, again, when I go to track 7, okay, just for instance. Okay, that right there, I'm confused at how much more heavier. Just that riff right there, that's a heavy riff. Through the Never, which is again a great track off the album. Okay, the album clocks in at 62 minutes and 31 seconds. Oh, it came out 91, August 12th. I remember it specifically because it was the first tape that I got to go into the music store and pick out myself. But the album, again, lots of different styles, lots of different songs. This is kind of where I could say to myself, where you could see me, I could listen to a little something more that always has to be super heavy. Never free, never me. Great video for The Unforgiven. But again, that song isn't necessarily what I would deem heavy in terms of Ride the Lightning, but emotionally, it's pretty heavy. And honestly, I can see why the album has lasted and has lasted the test of time. That's the new line here: the test of time, lasting through the test of time. But again, okay, I'll be honest with you. Okay, Enter Sandman isn't the first song that I'm going to listen to when I put on the Black Album. Okay, it's just not. I think it's because, again, I have heard that song quite a lot, but it doesn't mean that if somebody new to the band was listening to, like recently, I heard somebody who was 13, 14 years old talking about Metallica. And when they were talking about Metallica, the first song that they talked about was Enter Sandman. I think back to songs like Wherever I May Roam. Great music video. Okay, if nothing more for the band, you can go back and take a look and listen to Metallica's The Black Album music videos and see the greatness in everything from, right there's Wherever I May Roam to the one before, The Unforgiven. Just Really, 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 really good stuff. And honestly, the cover though is something that I don't know. I think they could have did a little. This is just my personal opinion. Could have did maybe just a tiny, tiny bit better on the album cover. Just a little bit, just a little bit better. But that being said, it's a good album. Definitely worth the time. Definitely worth the effort put into it. Um, but a lot of people, there are a lot of negative fans out there, and they haven't changed much. And as the albums got more from Metallica, the fans got more and more harsh and more critical. But I think honestly, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Like Injustice for All is a really, really big kind of prog, whereas Metallica, of course, the Black Album is a little bit more seemed to be focused. But again, I think all bands deserve to be what's the word I'm looking for? The opportunity to grow and do whatever they like, and that's exactly what we love to honor here is doing whatever you like whatever you want to think about. That's what we're going to do. People reach out all the time and say, hey, we're going to do a show, and then sometimes they don't even show up. And that's what's the one thing about Metallica is they always show up, and we appreciate that for them. What do we got? What do we got here? What do I got for you? What do we got here around the corner? Okay, again, check out that new Ministry album. Definitely awesome. Definitely, if they come back on this next tour, I'm going to let you guys know because you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to go see it. Tonight's album, we got a record here. Okay, we got a little Manfred Mann with an ear on it. You're like, who is Manfred Mann? What is this album? Who is this? Well, first of all, if you've ever taken any time and watched the AC/DC Thunderstruck video or Money Talks video, the drummer, Chris Slade, he once was part of Manfred Mann, but that's not why I'm bringing this up here tonight. I'm bringing it up because the first track on here is a cover song. I'm going to throw out who wrote it, Bruce Springsteen. They covered it, Blinded by the Light. Okay, Blinded by the Light. The reason I bring this one out is I just remember this one as a kid, a big giant ear on the cover. Need more album covers these days that have really cool things on it, like a big giant ear. Looking for something really, 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 well, what's the word I'm looking for? Heavy? I'm going to pull out my favorite Anthrax album here, and that is The Sound of White Noise. Okay, great tracks. Everything from Only, High Pro Glow, definitely Black Lodge, definitely Potter's Field. Really, really awesome. Something that is also really, really awesome is if you're into Depeche Mode and you're looking for something a little bit more like that, but maybe just a tad more dancey, and you haven't listened to Underworld's Buku Fish, please take a listen to that. Take a listen to their live album too. Really, really good stuff. Good. Awesome album. Push Upstairs, Jumbo. That was Cups that you were listening to right there. A really awesome track. Speaking of awesome, is an awesome live album here that I got from our man Lou. You say Lou who? I say Lou Reed. Tony Turntable says Lou Reed rules. And Rock and Roll Animal is a great indication of why Lou Reed rules. Just great live versions of Sweet Jane and just rock and roll, which it's been a while. If you've listened to this one, please dig into Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Animal, which is just cool. CD's cool. Lou doing things only Lou can do. I like that. Lou doing things only Lou can do. But again, folks, thank you so much for joining me. From the very beginning of the episode tonight, I was talking about listening to new music. Go back and listen to some of these artists we talked about and let us know what you think. Let us know some of those new artists that we happened to mention on here. Check out that Steven Sanchez song. Check out the Rap Boys. Honestly, check out Freako. they're coming to town. I think this weekend. And it's going to be what I would deem to be. It's going to be really, 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 really good. Um, but we always have the really, really, really goods here. And really quick here, some others that I think you should really, really tune into before we happen to leave here is what I'm gonna throw out there. If you ain't listening to any Smithereens, listen to some Smithereens. Gotta say that. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for episode 60. I really appreciated it. Thank you so much for letting me talk about November Rain and the Black Album and Ministry coming to town and the Decibel Musical Festival and the just so much more. Please check out everything that is going on the Sadistic Penguin Studios YouTube channel. And like I said, keep looking out for different blogs that are going to be coming to the Sadistic Penguin Studios.com page. We're having really good shows here. Yesterday was a really, really, really awesome drafty pod. I love baseball. Okay. People might say, oh, Tony, you only like music, or oh, Tony, you might only like movies. But I got some secrets for you out there, folks. I like baseball just as much as those other two things. So I am very excited that baseball's right around the corner. And last night on the drafty pod, they talked baseball. I'll listen to anything about baseball. So tune into that. This Friday, though, we've talked a lot about the Crow soundtrack, a lot about the goodness of the Crow. But this Friday on At the Show podcast, tune in at 7 p.m. because we're going to be talking about the Crow. And we're also going to be talking about Requiem for a Dream with Roxy, and we're talking about some Oscar stuff. So tune into that. So thank you, everyone else out there. My name is Tony. You can call me Tony Turntable, like I said, in the House of Turntables. Everyone else there, take care. And we're going to see you again really, really, really soon, because you know what? That's what we do here at the House of Turntables. We're going to see you again really, real soon.